Pastor Robert Jeffers went on the Christian Broadcasting Network and spoke about President Trump, and he made a disturbing claim that I wanted to share with you. So listen to this. When it comes to how we should deal with evildoers, the Bible, in the book of Romans, is very clear. God has endowed rulers full power to use whatever means necessary, including war, to stop evil. In the case of North Korea, God has given Trump authority to take out Kim Jong-un. I'm heartened to see that our president, contrary to what we've seen with past administrations who have taken at best a sheepish stance towards dictators and oppressors, will not tolerate any threat against the American people. When President Trump draws a red line, he will not erase it, move it, or back away from it. Thank God for a president who is serious about protecting our country. We mean protecting our country. He's not going to launch an offensive strike. He doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the military. He doesn't have... they can't keep the fucking lights on or flush the toilets, and you're like, oh my God, they're going to attack us. No, so this isn't... Thank God for a president who is serious about protecting our country. That's not protecting our country. He's making the whole situation less stable and threatening the lives of thousands of people in Seoul, South Korea, when Trump says, as he did the other day, we're going to rain with fire and fury down on North Korea with power the world has never seen. And then look at what he said again. This is the amazing part. I mean, the whole thing is fucking crazy, but he says, God has given Trump authority to take out Kim Jong-un. God has given Trump authority to do a war. You know, that sounds a lot like jihad, doesn't it? Isn't it? Pastor Robert Jeffers? Whatever my daddy does, Daddy President Trump, dear leader Trump, is okay. God has given him authority to do it. This is a guy who says, oh yeah, I'm a big time Christian. I love Jesus Christ. Did Jesus say that? Thou shalt do an offensive preemptive strike. I missed that part. I mean, these guys, man, and the thing that drives me most crazy is they don't view themselves, like this guy does not in any way view himself as an extremist. He thinks like, no, what do you mean? I'm no guy that's keeping it real, talking about how God picked President Trump and President Trump gets to do wars because God is on our side and on his side. He thinks he's like, you know, the most mainstream thinker, normal person ever. No, you're a fucking Christian extremist and you believe in Christian jihad and you're saying God has blessed our wars. And also the idea of like, well, this is just to stop evil. That's what it is. We're trying to stop evil. So, like, in other words, our actions can never be, quote, evil. Our actions are always good and pure, and if you question that, you're crazy. But no, if you see we're doing offensive attacks, yes, that means that we're the ones who are being assholes in that situation. That is an evil act. If you're launching an offensive military strike, you are wrong in that instance. You are the one doing the evil action. And finally, when he talks about how contrary to what we've seen with past administrations, they've taken at best a sheepish stance toward dictators and oppressors. When he says that, I almost feel bad for these people. Because again, they don't... So anybody who's on our team is by definition not a dictator or oppressor. Anybody who's on our team. So you could look at Israel with their apartheid state and their permanent occupation, and they're not oppressors because they're on our side, so they're good. You can look at Saudi Arabia with women as second-class citizens and beheading people in the public square for sorcery and witchcraft and drug smuggling and apostasy. And he goes, no, they're not dictators or oppressors. They're on our side. So you see how the game is rigged here? So what they do is they say, anybody who's on our side is not a dictator or an oppressor, even if they're literally a dictator and literally oppressing people. But if they're on the other side, they're dictators and oppressors. So Trump's making best friends with some dictators and oppressors. But he goes, isn't it great to have a president who stands up to dictators and oppressors? If he was doing that, he wouldn't arm Saudi Arabia. He wouldn't give them billions of dollars worth of weapons. He wouldn't arm Israel. He's doing that. He's cuddling up to the Gulf states. So they're incapable of objectively viewing stuff. They just play for a team. He's playing for Team Trump to the point where it's on a whole nother level where it's not just how much he loves Daddy Trump. It's God Almighty has granted my leader the ability to do offensive wars, and it's correct when he does it. Yeah, that is Christian jihad if I've ever seen it.